A ridiculous promise, baiting the target, setting the trap, assessing the prey, zero in on the kill, target down. Hello concerned citizens, this is Elena and welcome back to another episode of our brand new series, Look Out. In today's episode, we will be talking about how to identify over-the-top claims and outrageous numbers when doing the due diligence on the right agencies for your Singapore immigration applications. Now, you might not know that the Singapore immigration industry is actually not regulated. So unlike our financial institutions that's regulated by MAS, our employment agencies that's regulated by MOM, the Singapore immigration sector is not regulated by ICA or any other government bodies. So you may feel confused and overloaded with all sorts of information when doing your research on the right agency to work with. Now, this is why we created Lookout in hopes of equipping you with the right knowledge and information to tell apart over-the-top claims versus the actual facts and figures. So what do we mean by over-the-top claims? Here are some of the common examples that you may encounter when doing your research on the internet or even when you're meeting the agency in person. Number 1. Companies claiming to have the highest number of PR approvals in Singapore. Now, if you were to look on the internet, there are several agencies making this very same claim without any proof to substantiate it. So with multiple agencies claiming to have the highest number of approvals, who actually has the highest? Now have a think about that. Number 2, unlimited number of tries until guaranteed approval. Now, on average, an agency will take about 2 to 3 months to put up all the documents to submit your application to the ICA, and on ICA's end, they take about an average of 1 year to process a PR application. So be honest with yourself, do you really see yourself applying with the same agency again if your application has been failing for the past 5 years? And if the agency keeps on resubmitting the same set of documents for you and it keeps on failing, it probably also isn't the right agency for you. Number 3, exaggerated number of approvals within a very short period of time. Now, there is a very simple math calculation behind it, which I will be sharing with you more later. Number 4, not being upfront and transparent with their fees. So a lot of agencies are not willing to share their service fees with you over the phone if you don't come down to meet them in person. This is because they want to try and make you sign up for their services on the spot when you are in their office. So what's the motivation behind all these gimmicks? To be honest, majority of them are just clickbaits to lure unknowing consumers through the door in hopes of making them sign up for their services. Alright, earlier on I promised you the math and here it is. So on average, the Singapore government has been approving 34,500 new applicants every year for the past 2 years. Let's say PR agencies can claim up to 50% of such approvals. This means that 17,500 approvals have been shared across 40 agencies in Singapore. So if there is an agency who claims that they have 5 figures of approvals within a singular number of years, then it's highly possible that this is an inflated claim by that agency. So what should you be doing as a well-informed consumer? Now, there's a saying that goes, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. As you are doing your research on the internet, you do want to steer clear of companies that are excessively using the techniques that we have shared earlier. So once you have sifted out the more credible and reputable companies, be it through online reviews, client testimonials, or word-of-mouth recommendation, you do want to arrange for a consultation with them. But always arrange with a few credible companies that you have shortlisted because you do want to get a good reference point to make a fair comparison across the board. So here are a few things that you should look out for when in an actual consultation. Number 1, make sure that the consultant is genuinely listening to what you have to share about your circumstances instead of just eagerly trying to promote their services. Number 2, the consultant really makes tailor-made advice and solution based on your specific circumstances rather than a templated answer to all your questions. Number 3, make sure you're not being pressurized to sign up for the services on the spot. A good consultant should respect your decision that you need more time to think over it or discuss with your family members before you sign up for the service. So here's another tip for you. Do not rush and do not be rash. You do not want to be in a position whereby you have to rush to make a decision because the current pass that you are holding is expiring within a very short period of time. This is because when you're in a rush, you're likely to make mistakes and a bad judgment call. And some companies might even prey on your desperation to pressurize you to sign up with them on the spot even when you may be uncomfortable with that. So what you should be doing is to plan well in advance. And what I mean by that is that you're comfortable with where you are, your pass is not going to expire over the next few months, and you have ample time to plan and prepare for the next course of action. This will allow you to have ample time to do your research, meet up with multiple agencies to make a good judgment call. And in return, your chances of approval will be much higher. With a significant increase in misinformation and scams out there today, it is important that you protect yourself by being discerning with what you read online and knowing how to say no when you find yourself in uncomfortable situations. Like I've always said, when it comes to professional matters with long-term impact and significant costs, such as your Singapore immigration matters, you will always want to, number 1, speak with reputable and credible professionals in the field, and second, speak with multiple of such professionals so you make a good judgment call. Once again, this is Elena, and I will see you in the next episode of Lookout.